alaikum dear viewers, and welcome to our Learn Arabic show. Right, so today before we start our lesson for today, there is something that I would like to explain you about. Right, so during our classes, due to lack of time, I cannot cover all the vocabularies. For example, if you want to look up a word, so you can look it up on your own, for example, from English to Arabic. But there is a certain tip to use how to easily find words from the dictionary, because this is not like English, you just search a word and you can find it. So for example, you want to find words, say, from the Quran. Now in the Quran, you will find that there are 6 surahs. There are 6 surahs in the Quran. They either begin with Sabbaha, or if not Sabbaha, they either begin with Yusabbihu, Yusabbihu, or they begin with Sabbihu. Now you want to find these words meaning in the dictionary, right? In the Arabic dictionary, right? So we have Sabbaha. Some surahs begin with Yusabbihu. Some surahs begin with Sabbihu. And these surahs are, first of all, we have Surah Al-Hadid, that is chapter 57, Surah Hadid. We have Surah Al-Jumu'ah, that is chapter 62. We have Surah Al-Saf, that is chapter 61. We have Surah Al-Ghabun, that is chapter 64. Then we have Surah Al-Hashr, that is chapter 59. And finally we have Surah Al-A'la, that is chapter 87. So all these surahs, they either begin with Sabbaha, Yusabbihu, or Sabbihu. Now you want to find the meaning of this word in the Quran. So if you check up in the dictionary, you will not find the meaning of Sabbaha, you will not find the meaning of Yusabbihu, and you will not find the meaning of Sabbihu. What you need to do is you have to look up the root word of these words. So the root word of Sabbaha, because Sabbaha is command tense, okay? Sabbaha, okay? It's like commanding you to, these are all tenses, these are all types of verbs, tenses. So you will not find the meaning in the dictionary. So if you want to find the meaning, you have to look up the root word of these words. And the root word of these words is tasbih. The root word of Sabbaha, Yusabbihu, and Sabbihu is tasbih. So if you want to find the meaning of Sabbaha, you have to look up the root word, which is tasbih. And tasbih means glorification. So Sabbaha means to glorify. It is a tense. So in most cases, you will find that if you are looking for a word, okay, you want to know the meaning of the word, Arabic word, you want to know its meaning in English, look up the root word, okay, because in most cases these words are in form of tenses and you will not find them in the dictionary. So these are the surahs, and these surahs, of course, they are called the masabih, and it's very it's a lot of reward to recite these chapters, especially during the night. Right, so now we'll be going to the topic of today. Right, so our topic of today that we'll be discussing about is the pre-nominal suffix. So we have pronominal suffix. Okay, now this pronominal suffix, we'll be looking at first type we'll be looking at is the personal pronoun. So we have the personal pronoun. Personal pronoun meaning dhamir in Arabic. So the personal pronoun meaning dhamir. And there are two types of personal pronoun. The first type of personal pronoun is the independent pronoun. So we have independent pronoun. And of course, we have already done this independent pronoun is, for example, like ana, anta, antuma, antum, antunna. This is independent pronoun which is called dhamir. Dhamir munfasil. So we have dhamir munfasil. Munfasil means separate. Remember when we were doing separate letters, joint letters, huruful muttasila and huruful munfasila, we also have dhamir munfasil. And of course the next one, yes, your guess was right, the next one is dhamir muttasil. So we have dhamir muttasil. And of course, these are the type of pronouns that are actually used as suffixes. Okay, so these dhamir muttasil, they are used as suffixes and they are attached to either a noun or a verb or to a preposition. And of course, we will be looking at many examples. So the independent one is the one we had already covered. Ana, anta, anti, you, I, he, they. These are all dhamir munfasil, independent pronouns. The other type of pronoun, of course, those they are attached as suffixes. They are used as suffixes and they are attached after a pronoun, to a pronoun, of course, or a verb or a preposition. Now we'll be looking at different examples. Right. So if the personal pronoun, the dhamir, of course, the dhamir muttasil, if it is attached to a noun, that means it is a type of possession. So for example, we are looking at dhamir muttasil, the suffixes. So for example, I have the word abun, meaning father. I want to say my father. So I will say abi. So you notice that there is a suffix at the end of the noun. This is a type of possession. When you add a suffix that is a type of pronoun to the noun, of course, it becomes a type of possession. So abun becomes abi. So this is the suffix. This is the pronominal suffix at the end. For example, I have ukhtun. Ukhtun meaning sister. If I want to say your female, I'm referring to your female sister. So I can say ukhtuki. Right? So this is for your female sister. So let's look at all the suffixes. If it's I, we will have the suffix ya at the end. If it is you, male, we will have the suffix kaf with an accusative at the end. If it's you, female, then we will have kaf with a genitive at the end. If it is he, then we will have hu at the end. If it is she, then it's ha at the end. And if it's they, then it's hum. Okay, so these are the pronominal suffixes which you will find they are either attached to a preposition or a verb or a noun. Now we will be looking at examples from the Quran, right? So keep your Qurans ready, open, and mark the places where I will be giving you examples of the pronominal suffixes, right? So the examples we have from the Quran, if you open your Qurans to chapter 57, Surah Al-Hadid. So we have Surah Al-Hadid, chapter 57. Look up verse number 4. Verse number 4, we have the word ma'akum. Ma'akum. Now the pronominal suffix we have here is kum. Of course, I have not taught you about kum. We have kum, we have kunna, because this kum comes under a whole different topic. It's whole Kana and her sisters. We'll be doing the topic Kana and her sisters. It's a whole different topic. That's why I did not introduce kum. But you should know that kum is, of course, a pronominal suffix meaning you all. Of course, it's referring to you all. Then look at verse 12. Same surah, Surah Al-Hadid, look at verse 12. It says, Nuruhum. Nuruhum. So, hum, again, is a pronominal suffix meaning they. Nur means light. So, Nuruhum, their light. So, this is denoting possession, their light. Okay? Then look at Surah Al-Hashr, which is chapter number 59. Verse 6, we have Rusulahu. Rusulahu. Okay? So, who, again, is a pronominal suffix referring to his, right? So, Rusulahu, his messenger, or check the translation, what is the verse actually talking about, because it could have different meanings. Also, this who, at times, it could also refer to it, okay? So, sometimes you will find who in the verse does not refer to his, it refers to its. Even sometimes you can have ha, if not who, then ha. Ha also sometimes refers to it. Ha sometimes refers to it, who, all right? It depends on the context of the verse, right? Then we have alayhi. Alayhi. Now here, again, it could be referring to it. It could be referring to it, or depending on the context, you can read the translation, or it could be referring to who, it's he, right? But then you know that the pronominal suffix for he is who, right? So how comes here it is the pronominal suffix for he is written as this ha with a kasra, when you know that the pronominal suffix for he is ha with a dhamma? This is actually Arabic. The grammar. There is actually some rulings of Arabic here. So this alayhi is actually broken into 3 words. If it is referring to he, then it is broken up into ala. So break this word into ala. Then we have ya. And then if it is referring to he, previously, in the former state, it would have been who. Okay? So, alayhi, I have broken it up into ala, ya, and who. If this is only if it is referring to he and not it. Okay? So, ala, as you all know, is a preposition. It is a harful jar, right? So, this is harful jar. What about, and then we have ya, and then we have who. Now, this is a ruling of jar and mujawara. Ala is a harful jar. We learned that if you find any harful jar, any preposition that comes, you know, before an object, the object will always carry a kasra. The object will always carry a genitive. For example, I can say, you know, fi. Fi is also harful jar. It is also a type of a preposition. So I can say fil bayti. So the word baytun, referring to house, of course, not a verse of poetry. The word baytun will carry a genitive case, right? it will carry genitive. I cannot say fil bayta. I cannot say fil baytu. It has to be fil bayti. Why? Because fi is a preposition. It is a harful jar. If it comes before an object, the object has to carry a genitive case. Same with arla. Arla is also a harful jar. Okay, so if it comes before an object, the object has to carry a genitive. But this here is a different case. Now I want to combine. I want to join the words arla and I want to join is. Right? Arla and is, on his. Okay? I want to say arla meaning on. Hu meaning his. So on his. Right? So if I want to combine this, I cannot say arla hu, because arla hu, you see, these Arabs, they want to make their language more beautiful. They want to beautify their language. So they have made up a ruling. Now this ruling states that ya is added. Ya is added to join, to bring close the harful jar and the mujawara. Any if you see any pronominal suffix after the harful jar, this is actually a mujawara. So we have harful jar and the mujawara. So this ya is actually to join these two words together. What does jar mean? Jirani, neighbor, right? Neighbor, we bring close. So this ya is going to bring close the arla and the hu. So it makes it from arla hu to arlayhi. Now you find that this hu has changed into he. This hu here has changed into he after we have combined it. Why? Because of the harful jar arla. We said that if there is any harful jar before an object, now even before a pronominal suffix, the pronominal suffix will carry a kasra. That's why it has changed here from dhamma to kasra, because of the presence of arla and ya. Ya is just like a conjunction to make it together. The rule of harful jar and mujawara, bringing close. Remember the neighbors? Right. So this ya is actually to bring these two words close. This is the ruling of jar and mujawara. But this note that only if in the verse it is referring to he. If it is referring to it, then of course it also means he. There is no changes need to be made. Now we'll be looking at other examples. So another example we have is in Surah Al-Jum'ah. It's verse number 11. We have the word tarakuka. Okay. Now again, here we have at the end a pronominal suffix. Okay. You can look up the translation to know the meaning of this word, of course, but I'm just pointing out, I'm just trying to indicate the pronominal suffix. So this ka refers to your, who, feminine or masculine. I'm referring to masculine, right? Then we have the word in Surah Taghabun. If you open verse 6, we have yahdunana. Right? So we have the pronominal suffix here. So we have the pronominal suffix here, noon with an alif. So this is here the pronominal suffix, and this is referring to our. Nahnu yahdunana. This nahnu, this na corresponds to the pronoun nahnu, the personal independent pronoun nahnu. And of course, this is the dhamir muttasil, but it corresponds to the dhamir munfasil nahnu. So this meaning our. Okay. Then we have in Surah Al-A'la, you all know Surah Al-A'la, it's chapter 87, verse 11 says, يَتَجَنَّبُهَا. So we have يَتَجَنَّبُهَا, you know we say يَتَجَنَّبُهَا الْأَشْقَى الَّذِي, you can go on reciting the whole surah, right? So here we have ha, ha meaning her, okay? But I said in some cases it could refer to it depending on the context. What is the verse talking about? It sometimes could refer to it, okay? Then we have the Surah Bani Israel, that is Surah 17, verse number 44. We have fihinna. So we have fihinna. This hinna is referring to they, female, plural. Remember we said hunna is the dhamir munfasil, the independent pronoun meaning they, female, plural, right? So this is hinna. But why in the actual independent pronoun it is hunna? If you look at the pronoun, okay, it is actually hunna, but how comes here it is hinna and not hunna? This is because the same ruling. We have the harfu jar, okay, fi. Remember I said fi is also harfu jar, and if it comes before before a pronominal suffix or before an object, this will carry a kasra. So it has changed from dhamma to a kasra. Why? Because of the presence of harfu jar fi. So I cannot say fi hunna, that is wrong. Why? Because fi is harfu jar. So it has to be fi hinna. So this dhamma, this nominative has changed to the genitive because it has been preceded by the word fi. Okay? And of course here you cannot say that ya is used as a conjunction, you know, to join the jar and the mujawara, because fi, the ya itself is part of the harfu jar. In that case it was ala, ya and hu, right? But here fi itself, the ya is part of the word fi, okay? So it is part of harfu jar. So you cannot tell me that ya here is used as a conjunction to join the harfu jar and the mujawara. That will not make sense. It's just the whole thing fi, right? Okay, now we'll be looking at some very special cases. So there are some special cases which will not follow the same trend. Now these special cases that will not follow the same trend. So first we have the word, these are, you can say these words are weak, okay? They have weak letters at the end, okay? Weak letters at end. So for example, we have the word asa. Asa means stick, okay? So I want to say my stick, okay? And in the former tense, my, the what you call the pronominal suffix, I will add at the end. And I said my pronominal suffix for my is what? Ya. Just add a ya at the end with adjective on top. For example, kitabi, qalami, waraqi, saburati, my blackboard, my pen, my paper, right? So just adding a ya at the end with adjective. This was the normal trend for all the words. But this word here, aswa, it is ending with a weak letter. The weak letter being alif, and of course it is sometimes as it is a weak letter. So I cannot say aswa'i. It doesn't make sense, you know, it doesn't make a, so the Arabic grammarians, they want to beautify their language. So in order to beautify their language, instead of adding ya with adjective like we usually used to do, like kitabi, waraqi, they have decided to add, instead of adding ya with adjective, they have decided to add ya, not only ya, with a fatha joined to an alif. So in such weak words, you will not add ya with adjective. You will, so the result will be arsaya, arsaya, my stick, arsa, stick, arsaya, my stick. I cannot say arsai. It is not, does not make sense. The Arabic grammarians, they want to beautify their language. So if I say arsaya, it is more appropriate. Right, so then we have, now this arswa, there are many words also similar to this word arswa, so I don't want you to confuse. We also have the word arswa. So we also have this word arswa, and we have arswa. These two, they don't have the same meaning. They mean, their meaning is totally and completely different. This arswa means stick. This arswa means disobedience. Okay? The only difference is when you find such ya, you will find sometimes some words have ya without dots. See, this has dots. This does not have any dots. This is not actually a ya, it is called alif mamduda. Now this alif mamduda is also a type of a weak letter. So in most cases, if you find this in a noun, of course we cannot say my disobedience, so this cannot be in terms of possession. But if you find this alif mamduda coming after a noun, then of course it will take the same, in most cases it will take the same format, or you will just have a ya with a fatha. We will be looking at one of those words. So the word which has the alif mamduda is what we will be looking at. So we have the word Musa, okay? Musa in Arabic is written like this, Musa, right? Now this here is alif mamduda, right? So this ya, if you find ya without dots, it's not letter ya, it is alif mamduda, and it is a weak letter. So this is a weak letter. Now Musa has many meanings. The first meaning, you all know, the Holy Prophet Musa. The second meaning is the one who is taken from water. You know that, you know the story of Prophet Musa. He was floating in the river and he was taken out from the wooden box in the water. So it means taken from water. Musa means taken from water, and of course the other meaning is a razor, right? So I want to say my razor, okay? Musa. The other meaning. So this alif mamduda is a weak letter, and you know my, okay? At the end, of course, in the usual format, it has to come ya with adjective. But because this is a weak letter, it will not follow this trend. Because try pronouncing it, okay? Try pronouncing it Musa and then add ya with adjective to the end. It doesn't really make sense, does it? Right? So they have made a rule. The Arabians, again, they have come up with a rule, and they said instead, if I want to say my Musa, so I can say Musa ya. So what have I done to this word? I have added an alif, and the last letter ya has a fatha on top, right? Now this alif is actually the alif mamduda, and I have kept, this is the alif mamduda. This alif here I've taken from the alif mamduda, and of course ya meaning the possession, but I cannot end with a jussive because it will not make really a lot of sense while pronouncing. So they have decided to keep an accusative. So musaya. Okay? And of course I have also missed one more meaning of arsa, but this is not with a swad, this is with a sin. And of course again it has alif mamduda at the end. This arsa with sin and not swad, this arsa means maybe. Arsa, maybe, okay? So when you come across such words, do not confuse. The arsa, ain, swad with an alif on top, just remember the alif on top, the stick. That means stick. The other one with the alif mamduda and the swad, ain, swad, alif mamduda, that means disobedience. And this arsa with sin meaning maybe. So of course you come across such words in the Quran, say like Musa, and of course there are some letters in Arabic which are weak, therefore they cannot follow the same trend of the pronominal suffixes like how other words can easily end up with ya with a jussive sign or any other pronominal suffix, of course under the dhamir muttasil. So we'll continue with, of course we still have many other topics, and not forgetting revision exercises. But one thing I would like to advise you, dear viewers, is that do not depend on just these classes. Try to do your own research, try to find more words, expound your horizons. I've already told you, if you want to look up a word in the dictionary, look up the root word, because sometimes you will not find the word itself. It could be a tense. So look up its root word and try to expound your horizons, make more research on your own. Then only you will be able to better yourself in Arabic. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.